In this week's Parshat, sandwiched between Mei Meriva, the incident where Moshe Rabbeinu hits the rock instead of speaking to it, and the death of Aharon Kohen Gadol, there's a peaceful appeal the Jewish people make to the citizens of Edom. Ko Amar Achicha Israel. Your brother Israel asks the following. The request includes a short history of their suffering and how God took them out of the land of Egypt. Nothing is mentioned about the evil Egyptian empire and nothing about how God decimated Pharaoh's armies. This was a sincere political appeal of friendship and brotherhood. Allow us to walk through your cities towards our destination. We will not deviate from the main road. We will purchase food and water at a fair price. Just let us through. In the book of Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu is warned not to engage the Edomites in war. Leave their land intact, Hashem commands. To make a long story short, Edom does not allow the Israelites through their land. They permitted commercial transactions such as the purchase of food, supplies, and water, as is recorded in the book of Devarim. But the Israelites would have to circumvent the main cities of Edom. The reason why King David was not permitted to build the Beit HaMikdash, even though it was his desire to do so, is because he was a man of war. The message is clear. The hands that were bloodied with war cannot be the same hands that build the sanctuary for Hashem. The Torah insists that peace must always be proposed before war. Harambam rules even before a milchemet mitzvah, a war ordained by God or for defensive purposes. Peace must be proposed. I'd like to believe our people have always operated this way, and even today, the IDF would do anything to avoid war and bloodshed. In the coming days, Israel, with the help of God, extends its law and legal system to cover Jewish settlements in Yehuda and Shomron, Judea and Samaria. Israel is being accused of annexation of land in violation of international law. Nothing can be more deceitful and a bigger lie than the use of such language. Annexation means taking land that belongs to another sovereign state. Yehuda and Shomron is territory that never belonged to the Palestinians. It may be regarded as disputed territory, but it is certainly not Palestinian land. That is a lie and inflammatory journalism. Based on my research, international law is not being violated at all. The League of Nations mandate guarantees the right of Jews to settle these lands. And until a peace agreement is signed and kept, this territory is at best, from a liberal perspective, considered disputed. To argue that the settlements are a barrier to a peace agreement is just another lie. There are more than 2 million Arabs in Yehuda and Shomron. Tragically, the Palestinian Authority has repeatedly rejected offers of statehood and autonomy. They were offered 1967 borders by Ehud Barak in 2000, and they rejected it. There were other such offers, all of which were rejected. The reality is that the PA and Hamas do not want a demilitarized, independent state that recognizes the right of Israel to exist. If they did, they would have had it a long time ago. And based on the information I have, they could have it now. Applying Israeli law to the Jewish settlements in Yehuda and Shomron is irrelevant to any peace negotiated. These settlements would remain in Israel anyways. Does anyone really believe that Efrat, Ariel, or Modi'in Ilit are not part of Israel? That thought would be ridiculous. The application of Israeli law to these settlements won't change the lives of Israelis or Arabs one iota. Today, more than ever, Israel has meaningful diplomatic relations with Egypt, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, despite the rampant anti-Semitism that is alive and well in these Arab countries. Israel's standing abroad and on college campuses, as well as the BDS movement, will continue to peddle lies about Israel and about the IDF. 2 weeks ago, my son sent me a disturbing article published in Haaretz about IDF abuses of Palestinian youth. Does it exist? Yes, it does. Just like what is happening in America. You put a uniform on 200,000 people, and yes, some of them will be bad. But the Knesset took the article very seriously and created a commission to investigate the matter and made immediate reforms. Anyone or any journalistic outlet that suggests these evil aberrations are state-sponsored are lying. These are lies. Israel today, like Israel in the Parashah we will read this Shabbat, seeks peace, even with those who are avowed enemies of ours. Israel today, yes, even Benjamin Netanyahu, who I know personally, would welcome peace with the Palestinian Authority and with all Arab states. The economic possibilities are endless. To me, the greatest tragedy is the well-meaning, uninformed, liberal Jews who know so much about Black Lives Matters, about prison reform, and about women's rights movement, which is wonderful, but they buy all the lies about Israel, apartheid, about annexation. Many of them have no idea what these terms mean. They know so little about Israeli history, and they are so quick to condemn Israel. The damage they cause Israel, especially in how we educate our youth, is tragic. I strongly believe that if the media and liberal outlets were genuine and stopped fueling Palestinian victimhood and stopped claiming Israel is the evil empire of the Middle East, the Palestinian people would have had a state of their own with autonomy and huge economic success. Some of you may think I'm naive. Others may think I'm a fool. Those of you who don't know me might be thinking I'm some sort of right-wing fanatic, but I'm not. I'm actually very liberal politically. I can only pray that truth prevail and our request for peace be responded with peace. As the Tehillim says so poetically, Adonai hatzila nafshi misefat sheker. God, save my soul from the lies. Ani shalom v'chi adaber hema lamilchama. I propose peace, and they come forward with war. Shabbat shalom.